So once again, hey guys, and hey YouTube as well. We'll enjoy a bit more of HEX TCG, and we'll go for some Diamond Ruby aggro. And so why enjoying a last bit of constructed? Sorry, I did change the title. Now we are back here. Constructed. All right. So I will explain the deck. So we did play the deck before, but and did well with it. So this deck consists in being the aggressor in pretty much every matchup we are in. Meaning we are playing some low curve troops and some cards that allow us to go over the top thanks to Grace of Tynos and Infinitrix. Since Infinitrix in this deck is more a boost all the troops and die less to some removal compared to others, but yeah, it's not Infinitrix itself that is good. It's the shift abilities. So we still got a fair amount of shards. We do have 24. We have 8 dual shards because cobblestone are not fully used, fully powered, and we don't use sapphire in that deck. So it's definitely 8 double shard, dual shard. So we play a tiny bit more diamond shard because we do have a good amount of diamond threshold requirement, like Protectorate Defender, William Rowan, and Grace of Tynos, and High Infinitrix. That is requiring double threshold. White Defender, it might seem like it's a single threshold, but in fact, this is double diamond since we run it with when this deals damage to an opposing champion, troops you control gets +1/+1. So every single troop gets boosted if you hit. So you truly need that double diamond. So then the troop, there is lots of 2-drops. I actually removed all the 1-drops. First, because all the 1-drops are kind of bad against current played card, such as Cottontail Explorer, such as Young Seer, Howling Brave, and all that can be traded with other 1-drop and 2-drops, which is kind of bad, and even Sensei. So I decided to go for just the burn. Why the burn? Because burn is super good against Magbombus, and Magbombus is still really counting as a big part of the field. So that's why. And then the 2-drop, why 4 Defender, 4 Black Belt, and 3 Rowan. Just Rowan is unique, and that's a fair bit of problem, in my opinion. So I decided to, no matter which 2-drop you will play, it will be good in this deck, in this particular deck, and so I decided to go for the split 4-4-3 since you don't want to see a 2 Rowan. So Midnight is saying I like Flynn over Palamedes. I actually prefer Palamedes because of the threshold first. Sure, it's we are mainly diamond splashing ruby, even if there is sniper with double ruby. and we are not often going to the 5th shard, and I want to have consistent way to get my Palamedes, my hero power. And in some matchup, this is really important to have +1/+1 and not +X/+0. The defense is quite low on all our troops, such as Defender, Black Belt, Rowan, and that can make us able to dodge some removal, just like Burn, for example. When your opponent is tapped out, you can just go hero power, and now my Rowan will not die to Burn. Or on Lord Alex, where you cannot get Cracking Bolted. On Stinkshot Sniper, that's the same. Not getting burnt on Stinkshot Sniper might be really irrelevant, you know. So that's why I decided to go for Palamedes. And another tiny advantage of Palamedes, you do have more health. So then going to the 3 drops, there is Lord Alex, Jags, and Grace of Thanos, and that's mainly support cards. So that's good if you curve out a turn 2 into turn 3, especially a turn 2 into Grace of Thanos. And there is Stinkshot Snipers as well, which are great, also combined with the previous one. So Stinkshot Sniper is rarely a turn 3 play, because you usually have double diamond first to get in the first 3 turns, so it's pretty tough to actually cast it really easily. So I'd rather just, that's why I don't really count him as a 3 drop here. So Grace of Thanos with Protectorate Defender is fantastic, same with Rowan. Hitmake as well, Highlands Black Belt, way better. And yeah, so that's part of the deck, and that's a way to easily get away with some games that you shouldn't be able, thanks to Grace of Thanos. Then there is Tricks and Angel, which are, even if there is lots of Boris in the format, having multiple flyers is actually relevant, since really often those Boris player will have to use removal on Rowan or Defender or Jags, and you will then play a flyer even if they can have additional removal. That's big threats that is actually able to block those Hierophant with flight, which is important, and that's why we decided to run those cards. So let's jump into the sideboard. So I quickly changed the sideboard. I removed the Prideful because, I mean, if we face Venom, we should be able to win without even removing the Fentio. We do have lots of ways to just go over the top with all those flyers, and I decided to run Stone Skin instead in order to blank those removal. Yeah, I do have Workabot. It will just PM you if you actually use it. Then we do have Totem Trap. It's here to complement the burns against MacBombus. Then we do have Frost Wizard, which is kind of important against Kagolichu, and against Wintermoon in some matchup. Then there is Crimson Bolt, which is important against some flyers, some vampires, and as well against MacBombus. Then we do have other stuff against Control, which is Unicorn. Unicorn synergizes quite well with Race of Thanos as well. And there is then Cosmic Shaman, which is usually gemmed with speed and damage. So why Cosmic Shaman? So it's a little bit slow, but in some matchup, you will need those Cosmic Shaman, such as against Necrotic. Necrotic, it usually tend to go long, and it might be great. It is actually great to just have that. I was considering as well Solitary Exile. Maybe I just need to get one Crimson Bolt. I do have heavy stuff against those Magbombers, so I think I will actually cut one Crimson Bolt and go for Solitary Exile in order to actually have some way to interact with some cards that like it gives me actually a way to interact with Penteo, which we removed here. It is actually a way to handle a Primordial Cave, a Marble, and all sorts of things. There's also a way to handle Elixir, so we'll go with that as a one-off. I think it's reasonable. Going for more I could go for a second one, but I'm actually tempted to stay like this and not completely shift my sideboard. So, and as I said previously, for Palamedes, I really prefer Palamedes or over Flynn in order to get those really early hero power. Is Heart of Fire deck still a thing? The thing is, people are actually playing lots of cards in order to handle them. So that's why they are not performing that well, and especially since, for example, Metronomy is running Forever Child deck when you run Sight of the Sun and all that stuff. And usually you gain lots of health, and that's not what you want to face when you're Yoto Burn. So we'll go with that deck for run. Let's hope we do decent, and we will enjoy those last gauntlet. Let's hope they will not actually remove them. It is. So we'll probably go for a tiny discussion about that a little later, but I think that's a bad idea to remove those constructed gauntlets. So yeah, so I will quickly cut the YouTube video after the explanation, and in order to do some part